Hello, and welcome to the first of many webinars for the new Inspired Home Show, formerly the International Home and Housewares Show. We know your time is very valuable, but we believe what we have to share with you today and present regarding the show and being prepared for the show is really worth the investment of your time. So thank you for your participation. The title of today's webinar is Learn How to Bring Buyers and Media to Your Booth. The overall objective in this webinar is really how do we share the tools and resources available to you to ensure you maximize your investment and ensure success in the show. My name is Jon Jesse. I'm Vice President for Industry Development here at IHA. I've been with IHA for about 4 years after spending 35 years in retail. Joining me today are Nancy Michaels, Senior Manager of Trade Show Business Development, and Debbie Teschke, Senior Manager of Public Relations and Communications. You'll notice on the screen our contact information. Don't worry too much about taking that down now. You'll have some time at the end, and we'll share this information with you again. During today's webinar, we are going to take questions. We would encourage you to submit questions anytime throughout the webinar, and we'll be happy to answer those for you. We'll take them any time by just using the chat function to submit those questions. Additionally, you should be aware that this webinar is being recorded and it'll be shared with you via an email that you're going to receive either today or tomorrow. And then you can refer back to that link in the email for both you and your staff on this webinar. It will also be posted on our website within 24 to 48 hours, so you'll also have access there to this recording of the webinar. Just real quickly, to give you an overview, most likely everyone is aware of the new name, like I mentioned earlier, the Inspired Home Show, formerly the International Home and Housewares Show. The whole idea behind this is it's not just a renaming of the show and a rebranding of the show, it's really a reimagining of the show. The focus really is going to go from what historically has been more of a basic and functionality type of focus to one of more lifestyle and inspiration. That's really where the retail community is going, as well as the consumer, and we as a show and IHA need to evolve with it, therefore the Inspired Home Show. Along with that, what is new this year is that we have developed a specific website just for the show, which you see on the screen here, which is called the inspiredhomeshow.com. We are going to keep the housewares.org, which is the IHA member website, which will focus primarily on member services. So the show specifically, the show offers and provides many avenues for success, including finding new customers, whether it's U.S. or international, certainly developing key top-to-top retail relationships, and generating consumer interest throughout the media, through various media exposure. However, we think it's really important and a focus of this webinar to make a plan before the show. It's critical because there are so many things that are available to you, the majority of which are free, which we're going to point out throughout this webinar, that it's really critical that you do pre-planning both before, during, meaning plan ahead of time for those activities that take place during the show, as well as post-show follow-up. So really, you want to be able to utilize as many resources that are available to you, which we're going to share with you now. So we're going to break up the webinar today really into 3 different sections. First of all, it's attracting buyers and media, and we're going to talk, like I mentioned, about both before the show, during the show, and post-show, and then talk about specifically how do you use Housewares Connect 365. This really is our primary tool to share content with the retail community and the media as well. So it's very important to ensure that Housewares Connect 365 is updated, and you put all your content there for both retail and media. And then lastly, reaching the consumer and consumer news media. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Nancy to talk about accessing the online marketing kit.
So with the rebrand, there's a new look to the marketing kit. Those actual physical kits have mailed and should be dropping to you this week. The physical kit is meant to be used as a guide along with the website, but the website is where all the detailed information is and where you will enter to sign up, etc. So this next slide is going to show you how to actually get into the marketing kit. Very much more streamlined and easy with this new site. So on the top nav, there's the exhibit, and then there's that drop-down menu, and the marketing kit is highlighted there. Once you do that, you're going to hit the landing page. Again, this is going to mimic the physical kit. Looks exactly the same. And then this is a really important thing, the sign-in. You're going to hear about this a lot through this webinar. This is where several services live on your exhibitor checklist, or we'll refer to that as your exhibitor portal. So you'll need your sign-in in order to access a lot of this information. Essentially, it's kind of password protected for you. So you're going to see this come up several times. And then it's going to take you right into your portal or your exhibitor checklist. This is a test site, so don't pay too much attention to what's on there. But this is where you're going to find several of the services.
So once you're into the exhibitor checklist, we want to talk a little bit about, attracting buyers. And like I mentioned earlier, we're going to break this up into what you can do before the show, during the show, and post-show. And most of those, if not all of them, are free. So before the show, what can be done? Many of you may be aware of the fact that we do share our buyer list and attendee list, not only in retailers, but media as well, which Debbie will talk about later on in the webinar. But these buyer lists are available as you come out of the show. Right now, you can access last year's show information. It is all sortable. It's in an Excel format. You can download the list from your exhibitor checklist. We will ensure that you're aware that there are not email addresses here. Each year, we try to prompt the retail community to allow us to share that, and we'll continue to do that, but at this time, they prefer not to have emails be made available. However, there are other opportunities, I'm sure you're used to it as well, very creative ways of finding access to the retail community. But bottom line is you should be able to find the show buyer list. Something else that's really important to be aware of is as you look at this particular screen and where you access it on the website, you can see the three different links. And I believe, Nancy, this is available through their exhibitor portal.
Correct. So if you access it through the marketing kit, it'll take you to that sign-in page. And with several of the way we've set this up, it's going to take you right to that checklist task. So in this case, you would sign in, it would take you right to the buyers list.
Yeah, and here, as you can see on the screen across the top, you have access to both U.S. buyers and as well as international, and additionally the 2019 news media. At this point, it is important to talk about exhibitor warnings. It's a good idea to check through the exhibitor drop-down. There'll be a spot at the very bottom drop-down on the exhibitor taskbar that speaks to exhibitor warnings, and there are multiple there. We would encourage you to look at all of those as you enter this process. But specifically as it pertains to buyer lists, we offer, as I mentioned earlier, the buyer lists are free as an exhibiting member at the Inspired Home Show. You will receive, if you haven't already, solicitations to purchase lists, buyer lists from our show. Those lists are not official lists from us, and you should not be purchasing those. If you do get those, feel free to forward those on to us. We get many of those as well, and we do everything we can to ensure that does not happen moving forward. But please be aware that the buyer lists are free, and you should not be purchasing them.
Okay, so this is a pretty big section of our marketing tools that are available to you. This is called Housewares Connect 365, and this is basically our online directory. And I'm going to take you through what you need to populate, and we're also going to take you through, once you've populated your profile, what it looks like to the buyers and how they use it. And again, this is a free service. So things you should know, last year there was more than 300,000 searches that were conducted by consumers, buyers, and media for the 2019 show. So consumers are on this site quite often. Our search engine on this is quite good. So if someone's searching, let's say, for a branded blender, oftentimes the HC365 listing will come up at the top of that search. So just be aware that consumers are looking at this in case there's proprietary information you don't want consumers to see or competitors to see. The listings with catalogs and product images are viewed much more frequently, 75%, than those without. So keep that in mind. You want to have a full profile going. So I'm not going to go through each one of these on this list. This is more of a reference for you. We're going to cover these pretty much individually. I'm going to go through it a little quickly, but it's very intuitive. As long as you know where to go, it's really well laid out, and you just basically, it's like tax software. You just go to a taskbar, you fill it out, and move on to the next. The other thing about HD365 is this is what feeds our mobile app during the show. It'll be available for download in December through your Apple Store or whatever brand of cell phone you use. But it's important to know that whatever you're feeding into HD365 goes into the mobile app. And if you don't feed anything, it will pull your company name and your booth number at the minimum. So I'm going to updating your company profile. You're going to start seeing this quite a bit from your sales managers. You should already be receiving tips of the week. Those come directly from your sales manager, and we're going to run a program on this right after Thanksgiving to try and get everyone to populate, because it's a really important tool. But if you want to get started, you can do that at any point. You go back to that exhibit on the top nav and hit update your company profile there at the bottom, and it's going to take you to your sign-in page. And then once you sign in, it's going to take you right to the taskbar. That's what I was mentioning earlier. If you want to see everything on your checklist, you just go to that upper box right there that says your exhibitor checklist and click on it, and it'll bring up all your tasks. But this is just easy. You're going in to update your company profile. You're going to hit that taskbar, and it's going to take you to basically the Housewares Connect 365 navigation. Okay, so these are all tasks for you to fill out to get a very complete full profile in which buyers, consumers, and media will view up for their pre-planning of the show. So this is kind of important. You know, you might have to divide your catalog up so that they download quickly for people to see. Catalogs must be in a PDF format. File names should be simple. Don't use symbols. It won't take it. I talked about smaller catalogs, press releases, whatever you want to put up there. Images need to be JPEG or GIF. And then it's not on here, but if you are putting up a video, you must use the YouTube link. That's the only way it will take it. Okay, so back to kind of these exhibitor warnings. So there's a couple of guides out there. They promote themselves as international fair guide or expo guide. Usually it comes in a letter format, so it's very official looking. This is, again, we are not associated with these guides. Just like the buyer lists are free to you, this information of who's exhibiting at the show is free to publish in as an exhibitor, and don't fall for it, I guess, is what I'm going for. So again, as John mentioned, go view the exhibitor warnings. There's some real sophistication going on now in terms of hacking and whatnot. Just make yourself aware. Okay, so you're going to go in and populate all those tasks, and now we're going to show you what everyone sees on the back end. All right, so this year we're using Dexis International as our poster child. And you can see this has been searched for Dexis specifically, and it's going to show you this navigation bar. There's Dexis, takes you to the Dexis company listing. If you were just kind of searching a keyword, let's just say a product category, this bar would come up for anybody that you've selected. Again, this is very intuitive, so just trying to give you an example. Okay, it's going to show the booth number. It's going to show that you have populated photos or catalogs. There's that video upload for viewing. This is a new program which we're going to get into later. As we pulled these slides, Dexis is a part of this. It's just not marked, but that indicates that they're independent retailer friendly. And then this is for buyers and media to build a briefcase. So I'm going to show you in a little bit what that looks like once they have a briefcase populated. So the top part of this page, this is, again, where you're going to go check out what your profile looks like. And let's say you're looking at it and you're like, oh, I don't like that, I want to change it. So instead of having to go through all the steps of getting back in, you can click that Here button, and it's going to take you right to the sign-in page, which then will take you to your checklist. And you can go update from there. Okay, so here's the basics, right? Your company logo, your company address and contact, your booth number, logo and name should populate next. Okay. Now you'll see on the bottom here this Made in the USA designation. File that away. We're going to discuss that in a little bit. But you'll see it designates that they have Made in USA products. Okay. Then this is going to take you to where the videos are housed, where your photos and videos are housed. Your product categories, really important. That's keyword searchable, so you want to make sure that's in there. If you've got events going on, and Deb will cover this in the media love to search those events. Brands and licenses, big push for this. We added this back into the printed directory last year. A lot of people, they don't know necessarily the company name, but they do know the brand name. So this is really important that you populate whatever licenses you have or brands. This is new. Pay attention to the format. It's a bit different. Debbie's going to cover this when we get into media, so we're going to move past this. But again, file this one away too. So when we get to featured new product descriptions, this is what it will look like on your profile page. Okay, so we know that buyers and media use this to plan their show. This is how they identify new products. It's always a big thing for the show, is to everyone wants to see you're new, and to find newsworthy stories to support their editorial for media specifically. Okay, so there again is your keyword search. Go ahead. So you're going to punch in whatever you want there. You can also select any of those drop-down menu things to search by. And then this is just saying how we do it. Use your search tool. Okay, so remember I talked about the briefcase. So this is somebody who set up a briefcase. It's a little small, but it's divided by hall, right? So you've got North Hall exhibitors and South Hall exhibitors. And this person has added it to their briefcase because these are the people they want to see at the show. And then once you do that, it's going to bring up the floor map of the expo you're looking to shop. And there it's going to map out where everybody is located. So it's a really nice tool. We know a lot of people use it because the show is very big. So you want to stand out. Make sure you populate that, your profile. Okay, so like we said earlier, we offer you a lot of things that are free, and now we're going to kind of go into what needs to be done during the show in order to get the traffic to your booth. So this is all about sponsorships. There's a new page in the kit that addresses sponsorships under Attract Buyers. These range in prices all over the place. They all have value-added benefits. So I encourage you to take a look at that and participate.
Okay, everyone knows, whether you're an exhibitor, media, or certainly a retailer, the number one objective, the number one question always is, what's new? Where's the new product? We would encourage you to take advantage of the new product showcases. The new product showcases are literally that. They're showcases that are located in the buyers clubs. which are in each of the 3 expos. These buyers clubs can only be accessed by any retailer and or media. When they come in, retailers and media, they have the opportunity to look at the new products within the new product showcases. Each one is labeled and has a barcode that they can scan. The media and or retailers scan the products, and then after the show, the retailers get a list of everything that they scanned throughout the new product showcases. And in addition to that, what's important to our exhibitors is that you will get a listing of all the retailers who scanned your product, what product they scanned, and their contact information, including email addresses. So if you want to get your new product out there, you want to get eyeballs on it, and potentially email addresses of those people who are interested in it, this is a very good way to do it. This is one of those programs that does have an entry fee to it. It is $300 per entry fee because there's more to it than that, which I'll get to in a moment. The deadline for entry here is January 25th. So what I was getting to and alluding to is the fact that everything that's in the new product showcases now becomes GIA eligible. GIA is the premier awards program within the industry operated by IHA, and it stands for the Global Innovation Awards. All the products submitted here are then judged in 14 different categories by professionals within the industry. And when we say professionals, it would be media, industry affiliates, and retail buyers and executives. They come in the day before the show and they look at all the submissions for GIA, determine the finalists, and that goes what becomes eligible. On Saturday of the show, we have the awards show where the winners are chosen in the 14 categories, and then all of these are then exhibited at the show for everyone to see. What's exciting this year is part of this reimagining we talked about at the beginning. We are relocating all of GIA from the Lakeside building, the Hall of Global Innovation, to the Grand Concourse lobby, which is the most highly trafficked area of the entire show. And in addition to just the winners being exhibited, all the finalists will be exhibited as well. So you have an opportunity this year, if you're chosen as one of the GIA finalists, and specifically if you're a winner, your product will be exhibited in a very high trafficked area in a totally reimagined area in the Grand Concourse lobby. So very exciting. Again, deadline for this is January 25th. The other opportunity, which is worth noting, is for those of you who are who have different product that's related to color, fashion, design, and trend. If you use Pantone and utilize Pantone, Pantone is a major component of our exhibitors for the retail and media community. Exhibitors have an opportunity at no cost to supply product based on the palette that Pantone provides you, to supply examples. And when Pantone gets to the show and they build their exhibits, if your product is chosen to be put into their display, you have a designation at that product in the display that tells who the manufacturer is, the exhibitor, and where they're located on the show floor. Again, all free. We would encourage you to use this if it fits within your particular product category. And again, what's exciting here as part of this reimagination is that Pantone 2, just like the GIA Awards, are being relocated to a more high-trafficked area in the Grand Concourse lobby. So very exciting news here for those of you who participate in this program.
Okay, we got more free opportunities for you. This is lead retrieval. We offer 2 different versions of it. You can choose from a tablet or a scanner that actually you use your cell phone for. We allow for 2 licenses on that. You can always purchase more if you want your whole staff equipped with them. Again, John mentioned this same kind of system that we use in the buyers clubs. This is a way to get your buyer and media contact information with email addresses. This is considered a business card exchange, and that's why we're kind of able to skirt the system with the emails. I do want you to realize that once you, at the end of the show, and John alluded to, you get the list of who scanned your products, and the buyer does as well. On your portal checklist after the show, you'll see this pop up that you can access your scans from your lead retrieval units right through your portal. So that's a good one. 34,000 booth visits recorded last year. So this is a really important tool. I don't know any other show that gives this out as a free opportunity. You do need to be assigned to a booth before you can order this, and you will order it through the marketing kit under Attract Buyers. So a lot of people are like, why do you have this order form on here? So you'd be surprised at how many people come to the show thinking it's not an order writing show. That's not really true. I mean, we've got, you know, startups to very established brands at the show and everything in between. This is here as a reference. If you don't bring writing, you don't have order forms, you know, it's just good to be prepared, as John mentioned in the beginning. Okay, these are signs. These are all free. New for the home is an unlimited quantity. You can sign up for this again under the Attract Buyers tile on the marketing kit. They're delivered to you before the show. You can also pick them up at the floor manager's desks in each hall if you forget to order them. Made in USA and Smart Home. Remember we pointed out that Made in USA logo? So these are both found under special marketing opportunities in your HC 365 list of tasks. Very clear, it spells them both out. But these are basically, you have to follow the criteria in order to receive these signs and be promoted as Made in the USA or even with your smart home. The Made in the USA are the federal guidelines. We don't police this. We are on the honor system. So I can tell you, if you are Made in the USA products, that's a big search field for buyers and media. They get really upset if you've marked yourself Made in the USA and you're not. So those guidelines, that's what we're looking for. Smart home is basically app-driven, smart products or robotics. You know, everyone's breaking into that, so that's good. Both those signs, Smart Home and Made in USA, are dropped off to you the Friday before. You're allotted 2 signs each. Then the bottom one is about photography. That can be ordered through the Exhibitor Services Manual. We encourage you to have that. You do need to police your booth if you don't want people taking pictures.
And one last thing I think we'd note here is that the deadline for this is February 12th for the top 3 signs. The bottom sign, as noted, the deadline for that in photography is February 21st.
Great. So this is just, again, reiterating the Made in USA and Smart Home. You can go check it out at your leisure.
We alluded to this earlier in a couple of different slides. It's something we want to spend a moment on, which is really a new initiative based on what is one of the most important and growing retail channels that attends our show, and that's independent retailers. A couple things we're doing to really address the demand from this particular audience and the growth of this particular channel on behalf of not only our retailers, but on behalf of our exhibitors as well. The first thing is it's important enough to us and to the retail community in general for Independence that we are going to be producing and what we're calling Independence Day. Independence Day is going to be a separate education and networking event that's going to happen the day before the show opens on Friday afternoon, where we're going to have speakers and networking and a cocktail reception to entice and encourage this growth of independent retailers to our show. In addition to that, we feel it's important to put our buyers and sellers together in this particular category, that we take additional steps to ensure that exhibitors do everything they possibly can, and we support them to identify themselves to independent retailers and make themselves available to the independent audience. So we're introducing a program that's new for this year, surprisingly enough, called the Independent Retailer Program. Very creative, right? This Independent Retailer Program is going to provide a couple things to get these buyers and sellers together. Number one is when you designate yourself as an independent, as you're independent friendly, as an exhibitor, you're going to get signage similar to what was on the prior slides, but you can see it on this slide as well. It says, welcome independent retailers. You're going to get a separate listing in HC 365, which again feeds the mobile app as being independent friendly. You will have a separate designation printed in our show directory that talks about independent friendly. And then there's several initiatives, some of which are time sensitive, that talk to pre-show marketing for independents to help our independent retailers connect with independent friendly exhibitors. So that's what's part of this entire program, designated to bring these two important components of the industry together. To be able to participate in this program and join the independent friendly program. You want to take them through it, Nancy?
So again, through the marketing kit, under Attract Buyers, there's a tile. You saw the picture of it. You click on there to sign up. It'll take you to your sign-in page. And again, it'll take you specifically to the HC365 taskbar. Go ahead and click through. And then there it is, let independents know you welcome them in their business. You go ahead and sign up for that, and all of these great value adds get put into play. I do want to mention, John said there's some time sensitive. The first tip of the week addressed this. Your sales managers may have already discussed with you, but Monday the 25th is our first cutoff anyways to really list the brands and companies that are designating themselves as retailer friendly and many different marketing, target marketing initiatives we have going on that will go to attendees. So if you're gonna want to be a part of this, go ahead and do that today. Get it done before the holidays so you can be included on that list.
Okay, the last section under attracting buyers and media to the show is really the post-show opportunities. We've talked a couple times about these show lists that are available after the show. Approximately a month after, you'll get an email that says that the buyer lists are now available. So sometime in April, you want to be able to have your post-show follow-up along with anything from New Product Showcase that's been scanned or anything else that's been scanned through the lead retrieval program. You'll have this as a follow-up. Again, it's exportable, it's in an Excel format, and it'll give you an opportunity to do your post-show follow-up. Okay, now we're going to turn it over to Debbie to talk about all the media and PR opportunities.
Thank you, Jen. The 2019 show generated 500 million consumer impressions in the news media. Now that's a lot of coverage. A lot of our exhibitors were mentioned and their products to the consumers, which would help them drive them to their stores to buy these products throughout the year, which is the whole purpose of the show. And so I'm going to talk to you about some opportunities that we have to help you reach the consumer through the news media, and then also the buyers through the trade publications, because we want you to be part of this coverage and to have the success so that you'll come back to the show next year and you know, have more success with more new products. Now, if you don't know what a consumer impression is, that is the total viewership numbers from TV and radio broadcasts plus the circulation of a newspaper or magazine, and then internet viewership numbers for websites and blogs and social media sites. And all we do is add up those numbers, and that is what that is our consumer impression. Now, some of you may work with a advertising agency or a public relations agency, and they may use a multiplier of 3 because they figure things are passed around and more people are watching a TV segment. Our number is pure, it's a 1-to-1 number. So obviously we've had much more you know, coverage than that 500 million, but that's a really good number that we go with that we can quantify for you. And so I'm going to talk to you about some things that can help you do this. This is the opportunities that we have in the marketing kit. This is the page from the marketing kit that talks about everything to attract media, and we're going to go through these individually. So then on the marketing kit website, you'll want to click on the Attract Media tile, and they'll take you to another page with everything and all the services. The first thing I want to talk about is our show preview press event. It is going to be January 30th in New York. It is a great way to meet with the consumer media one-on-one in a smaller setting. It's limited to 60 exhibitors, and I have 50 tables left. We just announced it this week, and so I've had 10 companies sign up already. So if you're interested, I would go and sign up to reserve your table right away. There is a registration fee for it, but you'll have an opportunity to meet with the consumer and trade editors individually, as I said, in a smaller setting, not apart from the show. It's a 4-hour tabletop event. You don't have to have any booths set up. You can show up to 4 new products. You will receive an RSVP media attendee list about a week before the event, and then post-show, we'll send you a list of all the media who attended in the event, so you can follow up with them if they did not stop by your table. And also, my show PR team reviews the products that are at the event to look for products that would help the media. That, you know, they start asking us in December what's new and what's going to be at the show. And so the products that will be at the press event are our first pass at telling them about some of the new things for 2020. So next is the show media list, and as with the buyer list, it's free. It's on that same page as Jon showed you earlier where the buyer lists are. We encourage you to use this list to pitch for the show. It's everybody who attended the 2019 show, and we do include email addresses if the media said we could provide them. So you will have complete information for them if they said yes. Again, you download it from your exhibitor portal, and the 2020 pre-show pre-registered media list will be available in mid-February on the same site. So please don't start asking me in January when the pre-registered list is going to be available. Just about mid-February, go to the site and look for it, and then you can download it. And these are the people who have registered for the show so far, so then you can start inviting them to come see you at the booth. Now, another service that we offer is the Traveling Media Tour. And this is kind of like a new segment. And we actually go in studio to TV stations around the country. We go to about 10 to 12 stations around the country. Last year, the total publicity value for the tour was about $236,000. And it's limited to 6 to 8 companies. And your product, you receive exclusivity based on your product features, not the category. So if you have cookware, you know, it would be on the features of the cookware, not that you're just in the cookware category. So there might be another cookware product that has different features than yours. And the tour takes place a few weeks before the show. Sissy Biggers and David Vigiano, both lifestyle reporters, are our reporters. They go in the studio and they talk about the products. And the deadline for this to sign up is January 15th. It's done by a third-party vendor who's had some great success. And you might wonder, how does this help me get to the buyers? Well, last year we had a company that had participated in the tour, and they said that there was a retail buyer they had been trying to get to for years. They call them, pitch them, they wouldn't talk to them, wouldn't come see them at the show. They happened to see him on their local TV station. The segment happened to be in the town where they lived. And they actually came and talked to them at the show, and now that product is in their stores. So there is some, you know, you might have some luck with buyers doing this as well.
Deb, we have a question for you.
Yes.
What kind of updates or requests do members of the media usually respond well to? If we have blog posts to share featuring our products, would that be something they would be interested in, or mostly just new product announcements?
The media are looking for the new product announcements. So you would want to send them your press releases or, you know, pitch to them your new products that you have coming out. If you have it in a blog post on your website, you know, you can certainly link to that, tell them, here, read about our new products here, but they do want to hear about your new products.
Deb, what's the
Okay, great, thank you.
The Traveling Media Tour is a little bit expensive, which is why it's kind of limited. The average is probably around $10,000. You know, for a company, but the vendor will work with you. She might have some smaller packages where maybe you're not in every single market for a lesser fee, but we do know it is expensive and that maybe some of the larger companies and the bigger brands would only be able to take advantage of it. But if you are interested, please contact Gigi Lubin at Newsmark, and she will talk with you and let you know, and try and work with you if you really want to be in the tour and you're just maybe a smaller to medium-sized company. Okay, I want to talk about the online show press room. This is another service where we've partnered with a third-party vendor, a virtual press office, which is owned by PR Newswire and Cision. And they offer this service to our exhibitors where you can put up your online press kits there. Packages begin at $425 for 3 pieces, but they will work with you. They have other packages available. And this is a great way if you want to be green. You don't want to do anything paper, or you don't want to have a thumb drive. You just want to put something online, because right now we don't have the capability at IHA and Housewares Connect 365 to offer this. So we've partnered with VPO, and they are a great partner for this. And so if you go to the website and you can click through to get there and see what kind of packages they offer. Only exhibitors in the show can take advantage of this. They will only accept packages from assigned exhibitors. So companies, other housewares companies who may not be in the show cannot take part in this. They will also promote this to the registered media, and we'll have it on our press release page on housewares.org for the media to go to as well. A good thing about this is it's up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. This new show cycle began in the fall, so any press kits that are up there now will stay up there until next fall, until we begin the next show cycle. So you have longevity with it. It's not just like the online press room will be there until the end of March and then it goes away. No, it will be up there throughout the year. And as I said, Virtual Press Office is aligned with Cision and PR Newswire. They also offer some PR Newswire packages for you, so please contact them about those as well. If you want to put out a press release on the Newswire for countrywide distribution, they will offer you opportunities that way. Now I want to talk about the trade publications, because we don't want to forget them. That is the way that you're going to get to the buyers, and because obviously all the buyers read the Housewares trade publications. And so we offer several opportunities and information for you to do this. The first is we have a list of the editorial contacts. You have the editors and their contact information for all of the publications that cover housewares. And I encourage you to go there and take this list and use it for your pitching list for the show and throughout the year, because they do want to hear from you, throughout the year about your new products. Second is new product news, and this is submission information for your new products. Obviously, the trade publications for their readers want to know about the new products that are going to be at the show and also throughout the year. The buyers read this. So we offer this service. It's a free opportunity. It's free editorial for you. You do not have to pay for these listings. All you have to do is send the publication your information and your photo. The specifications for how they want it and who they want it sent to are all up on the website, and you will get these listings for free. A couple of the publications do on-site show dailies. HFN, Home World Business, and Kitchenware News do on-site show dailies, and they need this product information for those publications as well. We also list the international trade publications, and if you don't do business internationally, this is a great way for you to get your products exposed to the international buyers. The show has several thousand international buyers that attend, and they're looking for new products, for their buyers in their markets, and they read the trade publications. So I encourage you to go and look at this list. The international publications have earlier dates than the domestic ones, so please look at those soon. I know some are coming up within the next week or two. And again, this is a free editorial opportunity. You don't have to pay for it. And then lastly, if you do want to pay for advertising, we do have a list of the deadlines and the contact information for the trade publications for their advertising programs. Okay, as John mentioned, everybody wants to know what's new at the show. That's the first thing that we're always asked by media, buyers, and anybody coming to the show, what's going to be new. The second most thing I'm asked is who's going to be there or what's going on. Who are the celebrities that are going to be at the show? And so through our special events and product demonstrations listing, this is an opportunity for you to put in your Housewares Connect 365 booth listing any special events that you're going to have during the show, any celebrities in your booth, celebrity chefs, maybe doing book signings, any designer appearances, anything specifically for the media. And so you access it through your exhibitor portal, and then the Update Your Online Company Profile for buyers. You'll see the special events taskbar. Click that, fill out the information, and it goes into your 365 listing. And again, it's free. So now, as I mentioned, everybody wants to know about the new products. And we took a service that in the past, we used to call New Product Information for News Media. And those listings were only available to the news media. And we've kind of opened them up, and we're calling it now Featured New Products for News Media and Buyers. So these listings that you enter will now be visible by everybody, by buyers that look at your booth or your 365 listing and news media. Before, only the media could see it if they logged into their briefcase. And we realized we were having some limited exposure because not everybody was creating a briefcase and using that to see the listings. Earlier, when we talked about Housewares Connect 365 and we showed you the listing, and at the end, Nancy mentioned this is the featured new product listing. You saw there was a photo and then a description of the product. And that's what the buyers in the media will see in your listing when you create this form, when you enter the form and enter the information. My PR team goes through these listings as well. And I guess I want to encourage you to do this because this is one way that the PR team finds out about the products that are new. As I mentioned, they're talking to the consumer media beginning in December, and the media want to know what's new. Well, we don't know unless you tell us, and this is the way to do it. And 70% of the products that were requested by my PR team last year have been used in the news coverage. And those products that they request are pretty much found through this service. Last year, nearly 300 exhibitors were featured in news media coverage. I would love to bump up that number, so please, let us know about your new products. And then, as I said, this is how the team finds the service. And again, it's free. So if you have 50 new products, you can enter 50 new listings. And then to get to it, on the Attract Media page, you'll just click on the Featured New Products for News Media tile, and then it'll take you to this landing page, which explains what we do with the information, what the benefits are to you to, complete the forms. And then on the bottom, there's the Get Started Now button. When you click on that, it will take you to the exhibitor portal. And then again, you'll sign in at the exhibitor portal, and it will take you to the Update Your Online Company Profile task, and then it'll take you to this taskbar, and then the bottom one says Featured New Products for News Media and Buyers. Click on that, it will take you to the form to complete, and then you will choose a category under which it will be listed, because in Housewares Connect 365, there will be a search under that keyword bar. There will be a search for featured new products, and then when they click on that, a list of the categories will come up, and they can search by category. Okay, now I want to talk about what we do during the show to help you. And the first thing we have is our show news center, and that is the headquarters for the news media. It's where they come and they hide out during the show from people. It's a lounge. It's where we'll put out your press kits for distribution, and this is a free service. All you have to do is send us 75 to 100 kits, and we'll put them out. As you can see in the top photo and the photo on the left, we have a wall, and we put the kits in clear plastic bins. We put them out alphabetically by company. So it's very important that you put your company name on the front of the kit, and also maybe a photo of your product, because things that are visual are more appealing, and everybody is drawn to them. And then, as you can see, the editors, they go through the kits. We give them boxes to pack up kits, and then we'll send those boxes back to their office after the show so that they have your information throughout the year. Again, it's free, and I cannot send your extra press kits back to you after the show. We ask that you come on Tuesday before the show closes and pick up any press kits that are left and take them back, because I know they can be expensive, and you guys do a great job in putting this information together, and I just don't want it to go to waste and get trashed after the show. So come pick up your extra press kits. and we would like to have them by the Friday before the show. So now, if you want to do a press kit, but you don't have an in-house PR person, maybe you're a smaller company, an inventor, or you just don't have a large staff, and you don't know how to write a press release, you don't have a PR agency, we do offer a service that will write a release for you. There is a fee attached to it. It's $99 per release, but it's a great value. And all you have to do is fill out some information about your company, your products, and then in 48 hours, you will get a Word document with a beautifully, professionally written release that you can use. It's yours to own. You can print it on your letterhead for a printed kit, post it on your website, include it in a digital press kit, put it, if you do the online press kit, it could be one of your elements in that. And again, this is provided by a third-party vendor, but it's a great opportunity and a great value. And this vendor will do some media distribution for you for an extra charge. If you don't know how to send your release out to the media, she will help you with that, and information about that is on the website as well. Now I want to take a minute and talk about the media at the show. Media have a blue badge. On the bottom of their badge, it lists their media type in blue. And we categorize the media 4 ways: either news media, which is your traditional print, broadcast, and trade media; internet media, which are news websites, internet-based publications; bloggers, which are your smaller bloggers. They have from 10,000 to 50,000 followers and subscribers, and they're like your mommy bloggers or your foodie bloggers. And then you have your social media influencers, which are over 50,000 followers and subscribers, and a lot of these are your YouTube influencers. So now they're going to come into your booth and want to talk to you about your products. And at IHA, we would say publicity is free. If someone wearing a media badge asks you to pay for it, that's a no-no, and to let us know, and we won't allow them as media. And in this new age of social media and bloggers and influencers, the rules have changed a little bit. But if someone comes to you and they're wearing, their badge says news media, they're from a magazine, a newspaper, a TV station, or a company, and they want you to pay, they ask you to pay for coverage, no, that's still a no-no. Let me know, and we will make sure that they are not news media next year. The same for an internet media classification. But if someone comes in and they're a blogger or a social media influencer, we know that they want to talk with you about sponsorships, maybe sponsoring a post or, doing some advertising on their site. And right now we're, that's okay. Don't say, Deb, this person came to me and they asked me to pay. It's, if they were an influencer, that's fine. Now, some of you may work with PR agencies. If you don't and you want to, please contact me. I have a list of agencies, and I'm happy to share it with you. Everybody on the list knows that I do this, and they're happy to talk with you. They will work with budgets of all sizes. And lastly, after the show, we'll have the 2020 media list posted when the buyer list goes up, and this is free to you. So I don't think you're getting any emails saying, we'll sell you a media list. I haven't seen any of those like the buyer list, but it's free. Please download it. It will include the email addresses if the media allow us to provide them to you. And we encourage you to use this year-round as your pitch list. And then again, update your Housewares Connect 365 listings throughout the year in your exhibitor portal so that you have updated information and new products, because the media will contact me in June, July, October, asking about new products, and I will send them to Housewares Connect 365. One more thing I wanted to add is, as a service that we provide to the media, they will call me and ask me for an exhibitor's public relations contact because they're trying to contact you regarding a product that they've seen or a story that they're working on. And for that information, I go into our database. And a lot of times, some of that information is out of date. My assistant, Lynn Wolf, has been contacting our exhibitors, letting them know who we have currently listed for their company and asking if that information is correct or to update it, give us the new information. And if you haven't been contacted by Lynn yet, go ahead and email me and let me know who your PR contact is, whether it's an in-house person or an agency. give me their name, their email, and their phone number, and we will update your listing so we can get this information out to the media if they ask for it.
Okay, we've got about 5 minutes to cover the rest of this, so I'm going to whip through what the highlights here. Housing. So On Peak is our official housing provider. We didn't list the warning here, but there are several hotel poachers. Again, they get you to sign a contract. I know exhibitors who've been part of this trap, so please, please book through On Peak. The deadline for our early bird rates is December 31st. Note also we overlapped this year with the Ace Hardware Show, so they're with 10, 15,000 strong, so they're also booking hotels. Don't wait, get in on the early bird rate, get your hotel booked. There's a lot of benefits. You can read about them on the Exhibitor Services Manual. Badge registration is open if you haven't done that yet. Again, you have to be an assigned exhibitor in order for that to process. New this year, and this is kind of a big one for anybody who's returning, we used to mail badges. We are not doing that any longer for several different reasons, including sustainability and security and whatnot in this new day that we live in. So you have to pick up your badges. You'll be sent a barcode like most other shows do. They scan it, you show your ID, you get your badge. You're not able to pick up badges for your colleagues. We're getting a lot of questions about that, and it just can't work that way. O'Hare Airport, some of the major hotels, which is coming soon to let you know, and obviously McCormick Place, you can pick up your badges. For those of you, the show ends at 5:30, but we do allow an extra hour on the floor. We call it the power hour, so we encourage you to use that extra hour to finish up your appointments during showtime. The Inspired Home. This is not to be confused with the Inspired Home show, but they're all connected very strategically and specifically. This is our consumer platform. I really encourage you to go to the tile on the marketing kit and read about it. There's an editorial calendar that you can submit products for. The products go out to our blogger and influencer network. They write about it. It gets posted. Consumers can shop the story. We are at about 1 million impressions up 3 months prior to the show. Highly, highly recommend you take advantage of this. It's free to exhibiting members. You must be a member. Again, on the GIA, Excellence in Booth Design is also part of that award now. Encourage you to listen to the webinar that's coming up in a few weeks from our consultant, Matthew Goodman. We'll give you some tips and tricks on how to present a nice booth. If you're new to the show, very important. We are an elevated show. We are not a pipe and drape show. Don't come in with a table and a skirt. It won't help you. So please make sure that you're coming in with a nice booth presentation and that the products are easily accessible to you. Okay, John?
Yeah, last topic real quickly before we wrap up. If you are looking for a manufacturer's rep, IHA can be a resource for you. On our member website, housewares.org, just popped up there, Rep Connect, or members/reps. You can go there, find reps that are available throughout the country. You can look at them either geographically, by product category, by retail channel, by retail type, etc. So if you're looking for a rep, again, we can be a resource. Then, lastly, any last questions? Ginny, back of the house, any questions out there?
Yes, we have one more for Deb. I was trying to sign up for the show preview press event and is not recognizing my company even though I have a profile. Could you please advise? I don't want to lose my spot.
If you have assigned space, email me. It just might be the way you're entering your company name, because our database has the companies listed a certain way, and I've had that before with companies. They just don't enter it correctly. So send me an email with your company name, and I'll let you know exactly how you should enter it. sometimes if you just put in the first couple of letters, a listing will pop up of companies, you know, within that area, alphabetical area, and you'll see your company listed and then click on it. But if that's not working, just shoot me an email and we'll get you signed up.
You can also contact your sales manager. They can tell you exactly how it's listed. And just confirm that you're active and placed, which means you're assigned.
Anything else, Jenny? Any other questions?
No, that's it.
Good. Well, on behalf of everyone here at IHA, I want to thank you very much for your participation. As promised, here is contact information for the three of us. Please feel free at any time to reach out to any of us. If we can't answer your question, we will get someone who can answer your question. This webinar will be available within 24 hours on our website, and you will also get a link as a reminder, an email with a link to the webinar as well that you can share with your staff. On the back of the marketing kit, you will notice a list of future webinars, so please feel free to look at that. This particular webinar we will be doing again on December 11th. So with that, again, on behalf of everyone at IHA, have a great Thanksgiving, great holiday, and an absolutely outstanding show. Thank you.
Thank you.